Okay, so I need to talk about this because it's been doing my head in. The other night, I walked into the lounge room and both girls were on the couch, dead still, like not even blinking. Mouth open, eyes glazed, just gone. And on the TV, Cocomelon, obviously. I stood there for a good, 10 seconds, just watching them watch it. And neither of them even knew I was in the room. I could have been on fire. Wouldn't have mattered. JJ was singing about bath time or something, and my children were checked out of reality. And I just thought, what is it about this show? Because we've watched a lot of kids' TV in this house. A lot. Like a shameful amount. Bluey, yep, they love it. They'll watch it, but they'll also get up halfway through and go and grab a snack or come and ask me a question. Peppa Pig, same thing. They watch it, but they're still present, you know? But Cocomelon, it's like someone hits a switch in their brain. They don't move. They don't talk. They don't even fight with each other, which honestly is the most alarming part. My two fight over everything. Who's sitting where, who breathed too loud, who looked at who. But put Cocomelon on and suddenly they're best mates, sitting in perfect silence like two little statues. And the worst part, turning it off. Oh my God. Turning off Cocomelon in my house is like, taking a bone off a dog. Like, no, it's worse than that. It's like telling a dog the concept of bones no longer exists. My 4-year-old, full meltdown. I'm talking on the floor, tears, just genuinely upset. And not like a normal tantrum, like next level. Over a cartoon watermelon singing the ABCs. It's wild. And my 6-year-old, she's a bit older, so she doesn't really scream as much anymore. She just does this thing where she goes really quiet and stares at me like I betrayed her. Like I've personally ruined her life. Cool. Thanks. Love that for me. So anyway, I started wondering if it was just my kids. Like, is this a my kids thing or is this Cocomelon thing? So I did what any normal person does at 11 p.m. when they can't sleep. I went down a rabbit hole. Google, articles, a few studies, some pediatrician interviews. And honestly, what I found kind of blew my mind. So, okay, I'm not a child development expert. I'm a nurse. I know some stuff about brains, but I'm not pretending to be something I'm not here. I'm just going to share what I read because I found it really interesting. Right, so apparently one of the big things with Cocomelon is how fast the scenes change. Like really fast. I read that the scenes switch every 1 to 2 seconds. 1 to 2 seconds. Think about that. Every second or two, there's a new angle, a new color, a new movement, a new sound. And for a little kid's brain, that's a lot of input. Like their brains are still developing. They're still learning how to focus and process stuff. And when you throw that much stimulation at them that quickly, it triggers this big dopamine hit. Dopamine is basically the feel-good chemical in your brain, the reward one. So their little brains are just getting hit after hit after hit of this feel-good response every second, which is why they look like they're in a trance, because kind of they are. Their brain is so busy processing all this fast, bright, loud stuff that they literally can't look away. It's not that they love the show so much, it's that their brain is overwhelmed by it. And that hit me a bit. Because I always thought, they just really like the songs. But it's more than that. I read this one article, I think it was from a pediatric occupational therapist, and she was saying that after kids watch really fast-paced shows like Cocomelon, they often have a harder time focusing on slower things, like playing with blocks, or colouring, or just being bored, because their brain has been cranked up to this really high level of stimulation, and then suddenly it's gone, and everything else feels boring by comparison. And I was like, oh, because that's exactly what happens in my house. I turn Cocomelon off and my 4-year-old just doesn't cry. Doesn't just cry because the show's over. She can't settle into anything else. She won't play, she won't colour, she just kind of wanders around looking unsettled. And I always thought she was just being difficult. But maybe her brain was just, coming down from something. That sounds dramatic, but that's kind of what the research says. Now, here's the thing. I want to be really clear about this. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not. My kids have watched hours of Cocomelon. Hours. There were days, especially when my youngest was at 2, where Cocomelon was the only reason I got to have a shower or make dinner or just sit down for 5 minutes and not be touched by another human. I get it. I've been there. I've done it. I've pressed play. I've walked away and felt relieved. So if your kid watches Cocomelon, cool. No judgment. None. Zero. I'm just sharing what I found because I wish someone had told me sooner. That's it. Because I think, for me, once I understood why my kids were acting like that, it made me feel less crazy. Like, it wasn't bad parenting. It wasn't that my kid was broken. It was the show. The show is designed to do that. And I also read that Cocomelon is really different from other shows in how it's made. Like, compare it to something like Bluey. Bluey has longer scenes. The pacing is slower. The stories actually have a beginning, a middle, and an end. The colours are softer. There's space in it. Kids can actually follow what's happening and think about it. Cocomelon doesn't really do that. It's just bang, 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 bang. Colour, sound, movement, repeat. And look, the creators of Cocomelon probably aren't sitting there going, let's mess up children's brains. But the way it's made, the speed, the brightness, the constant switching, it does have an effect. And I think it's worth knowing that, just so you can make your own call. Okay, so after I read all this stuff, I started swapping out what we watch. Not in a dramatic way. I don't sit down with my kids and say, we're never watching Cocomelon again, because honestly, that would have caused a riot. I just started putting other stuff on instead. And here's what's worked for us. Bluey, obviously. Everyone talks about Bluey, and honestly, it deserves it. My 6-year-old loves it. My 4-year-old loves it. And this is the big thing. When I turn it off, they're fine. They just go and play. No meltdown, no zombie stare, no just move on. They just move on. It's amazing. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the Cocomelon thing. I'm not saying ban it. I'm not saying you're a bad mum if your kid watches it right now. I'm really not. I'm just saying I noticed something weird with my kids. I looked into it, and what I found made a lot of things make sense. And now I do things a bit differently. That's all. You do whatever works for your family. I'm just a mum who went down a Google rabbit hole at midnight and now won't shut up about it.